Hello everyone, my name is Hemant Yadav. I am from group number 492, and today I am going to show the procedure of the gastric lavage in children. Now, it is a procedure to access the sputum or the respiratory secretions that are present in the stomach by putting or by placing a tube. That tube can be orogastric tube or a nasogastric tube in the stomach of the patient and collecting the specimen from the stomach. Now, to perform this procedure, it is very necessary that the gastric contents should not be mixed with the food articles. So, which means we should to perform this procedure after either an overnight or after a few hours of fasting. So, before performing this procedure, we should to explain all the steps of the procedure that we are going to follow to the patient. And in this case, if we are performing the procedure on the children, we'll explain all the steps to the parents. And one more thing we should to do we should to remember in the case of children is to take consent from the parents. And generally the ideal situation is to call the patient after an overnight fasting. Things or what instruments will require for this procedure. You can see on your screen that first and main thing will require the tube. The tube which we'll use is a nasogastric tube, and it is the name of the tube is Ryle's tube or infant's feeding tube. Apart from the tube, of course, we'll require a pair of sterile gloves, will require adhesive tape, 5 ml syringe, a lubricant jelly, normal saline, and a sterile specimen collector. So now I'm going to start the procedure. So I will call the patient. So as I'm demonstrating the procedure of gastric lavage in children, so assume that this is a child. And okay, so firstly, I have already explained him all the procedure and all the steps of the procedure that I'm going to perform on him. And as I said before, also if you are performing on children, you should explain everything to the parent and take consent from them. Okay, so first thing you should do whenever you're doing this procedure in children, you should to restrain them. You can restrain generally by using a sterile restraining sheet. Why restraining is important? Because while performing the procedure, while inserting the tube, the child may have developed some, you can say, discomfort, and he or she can interrupt the procedure, and that will be harmful for the child. So to prevent that thing, we will restrain the child. It is not required if you are performing this procedure in the adult, but as I am doing with children, it is required. So you can sit here. So first of all, how you should restrain the child? You will simply backward. Yeah. The one end of the restraining sheet, you will roll or you will cover the back of the patient here like this, and from this end you will roll on the one arm, and the other end you will also roll on the other arm, and by rolling like this you will cover the back once again, and you will cover the front of the patient as well. You can adjust the sheet by stretching or loosening according to the need. And after this restraint, you will ask the patient to lay down in the supine position. So once the patient is restrained and he is in comfortable position, you will start the insertion of the tube. As I said in the starting of this video, we will require an infant's feeding tube or a Ryle's tube. Of course, I don't have the tube right now, so I will use this as my tube. So first of all, you should know the exact length of the tube that should be inserted. So how you will calculate that length? There is simple procedure for that. So you will measure the length from the tragus, this part of the ear, we call it tragus, from the tip of the nose, and from tip of the nose to the midpoint that is located between the xiphisternum and the umbilicus of the patient. So up to here. So this you will have the length of the tube that should be inserted in the patient. So before inserting, of course, you should apply certain amount of lubricant jelly over the tube so that it will pass easily downwards and it will not develop any kind of discomfort in the patient. So the ideal position is to, as I said before, I will show the procedure of nasogastric tube. So I will be putting this tube inside the nose of the patient. So before putting, you should confirm that the patient is in upright position, the face is looking upwards, and while inserting, you should to insert or intubate in the perpendicular manner directly and slowly from the nostrils going downwards. And you can ask patient to swallow during this procedure. It will make easy for the downward movement of the tube. And you should remember that mark or that measured length of the tube that should be inserted. So once that length is achieved, you will attach or you will fix that tube by the help of adhesive tape. Okay, so this is done. After inserting the tube, it is very important to confirm the position of the tube, that up to which length the tube has been entered. In ideal position, it should to reach up to the body of the stomach for appropriate results. Now, how will confirm that? Simply, we'll use auscultation method. We'll use our stethoscope and we'll take a 5 ml syringe, and from that 5 ml syringe, we'll simply provide this tube with certain amount of air, and while giving a certain amount of air, you can hear in that if you will auscultate the patient's epigastrial region, you will hear certain gusts of the air, or you can hear a certain amount of the air passing through this tube. So once you are hearing that sound, it is confirmed that the tube is placed in the exact position. We have also one more method to check this position, and how we'll check? We'll simply aspirate the gastric contents from by using our syringe. Of course, you should to use new syringe for each and every procedure, and we can aspirate the gastric contents slowly by the open end of the tube. And while you will when you will aspirate, you can see a certain amount of gastric contents, and if you are able to see around 3 to 5 ml of gastric contents, it is confirmed that the tube is placed in the perfect position. Now, after positioning, what we should do? We should have the normal saline. So you should take around 10 ml of normal saline. Okay, and remember this thing: while instilling the normal saline, never apply pressure on the, you can say, syringe. You will just attach to the open end of the tube and you will hold in the upright position, and you will align the syringe and the tube, and by the means of gravity, this normal saline will go down the tube and reach up to the stomach of the patient. So remember this: do not apply pressure while doing this procedure. So once you have instilled the normal saline in the stomach, within 1 minute you will attach the new syringe to the open end of the tube, and you will provide suction, and you will try to aspirate around 10 to 15 ml of gastric contents. So when you will aspirate, you will have, if you need appropriate results for the further studies, you need to have around 10 to 15 ml of gastric contents that is mixed with normal saline. And if you are achieving that amount, this means that your procedure is done perfectly. Now, once you have taken that amount of gastric aspirate, you can pour that gastric aspirate into a sterile specimen container, and you can keep it in one side. So this procedure is done. Now we will remove the tube that is inserted in the patient. So gently remove the adhesion tape, and remember, while taking out this tube, you should always close the tip of the open end of the tube, or just fold the one end of the tube, so that it will prevent any kind of leakage in the tract that is present in between. So you will gently pull out the tube, and during this procedure you can ask the patient if the patient is normal, it is stable, your procedure will be finished. Thank you.